Hi there. So I'm going to teach you how to solve linear equations, but in this tutorial I'm just going to go over the very basic types that you're going to get. I'm going to make multiple tutorials on how to solve the actual different ones that you might come across, but for now we're just going to go over the basics. So whatever you do on one side, you have to do the same on another. Essentially what that means is when you have an equal sign, that looks bad. When you have an equal, when you have an equal sign, let's say you have 1 equals 1. I know it's very basic, but let's say on the left hand side you want to add 3, so you want to plus 3. I'll just do that in another color. So you want to plus 3. Then if you want to add 3 to this side, you also have to add 3 on that side. And then you end up getting 3 plus 1 is 4 equals 1 plus 3. It's still 4. So whatever you do on one side, you do on another side. Now, the goal is to try get x on its own. For example, in question 1, you see it's x plus 3 equals 10. Now, x isn't on its own. On the left-hand side, you have x, and then you have plus 3. So you have to get rid of the plus 3 to have x on its own. Now, think of a number. This is like really basic analogy, but just think of a number. Now, what number plus 3 will get to 10? Now, it's obviously 7, but when you get equations, it's not going to be like as easy to think, okay, what, like in your brain, what number plus something will equal 10? Well, I mean, obviously for this example, it's easy, but not when you have like different questions in your exam, for example. So to get around this, how do we remove plus 3? How do we get plus 0? Well, to remove plus 3, you have to minus 3. So minus 3. But remember, whatever you do on one side, you have to do the same on the other side. So then you have 10 minus 3. And now x plus 3 minus 3 is 0. So on the left-hand side, you're going to have x plus 0, but we can just leave out the plus 0. Actually, I'll write it down now just so it looks, so you can understand it. And you have 10 minus 3, which is 7. X plus 0 is basically the same as saying x. So then you get x equals 7. Does that make sense? I'll do these other examples as well, just so you can see what I'm doing. Now, you can clean this up. What is 8 plus 2? So 8 plus 2 is 10. So you can essentially rewrite this as x plus 10 equals 15. Cool. Now, you want to get x on its own, right? But you only have x plus 10 equals 15. So essentially, you have to remove 10. So minus 10 from that side, and then minus 10 from this side, leaving you with x plus 10 minus 10 is 0. So x is now on its own. 15 minus 10 is 5, leaving you with x equals 5. I'll do these examples as well. Now with the subtraction, you have to be really careful. Well, maybe it's just me, but a mistake I sometimes make is, so to get x on its own, you have minus 2. Now to get x on its own, and while you have x minus 2 is to add 2, because minus 2 plus 2 equals 0. So whenever you see a minus 2, you have to add 2 to both sides. Now sometimes I look at the sign and I think, oh, it's just minus. Yeah, make sure you check your work whenever you do it. So you don't minus 2, you add 2 to both sides. So let me do that now. Oops. So then you have plus 2 equals 10 plus 2, leaving you with x equals, what is 10 plus 2? 12. So that's the answer, x equals 12. Now, final one, pause the video and you should try have a go. Alright, welcome back if you've had a go. Now, we should clean up both sides, so let's start with the left hand side. So, minus 5 plus 8, which is 3, because 8 minus 5. You can sometimes read this as 8 minus 5 rather than minus 5 plus 8, if it helps you. So you have 8x plus 3 equals 12 plus 4. 12 plus 4 is 16. And now you have this, so all you need to do is, instead of plus 3, so you have to remove the 3, so it's minus 3. And then you also remove 3 here, leaving you with x equals 16 minus 3, it's 13. There you go. I hope you got that right. Now I'm going to make another tutorial about what to do when you have situations such as 3x plus 12 equals 18, or other situations where you get, for example, x over 5 plus 8 equals 12, and other situations as well where you would have, actually I think this will fall into this video, but you would have 3 over x plus 2 equals 8.